So do you have any favorite stories about tokens?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of them, but I'll tell you about an early one, before there were any books. Then I used to go out beating the back roads, you know, hitting antique shops, stores, any place I could, yard sales, looking for tokens. Well, one of the trips I would take was up Highway 99, and you go up through towns like Marysville, and then Oroville, and Chico, and along the way, there's a little place called Robinson's Corner, and it's about 10 miles north of Marysville, about 10 miles east of Gridley, and about 10 miles south of Oroville, out in the middle of nowhere almost. There was a giant Quonset hut, but very well constructed timbers, and then stuck on the front was a little building about 15 foot square, obviously added later. And I found out this place was named Robinson's Corner, but it's all by itself. And then I found out that there was a token known from Robinson's Corner, so I stopped in to talk to the guy. And this place apparently had been a dance hall back in the 20s and 30s. And why was it located where it was? Well, being 10 miles from any town, obviously if anybody, there was going to be a raid, they would get plenty of advance word that the cops were coming. So it made good sense to be out there. But the man in there had, well, first off, the building that the guy was in, he had 2 gas pumps in front of it. There was a grill and an ice box in there where you could get hamburgers and a beer and soft drinks. But believe me, you wouldn't want to eat there because the place was festooned with cobwebs, greasy cobwebs, and you'd feel like your life was in danger if you ate anything, but I figured I could drink a beer. And so I would stop and I'd drink a beer with him, and ask him about the tokens. And he said, well, yeah, my dad had tokens, and he took a binder down off of the shelf. And in that binder, the first 5 or 6 pages had nothing but coins in it. But then you got to about 4 pages where there were all tokens and all his dad's. The same token, Robinson's Corner, with his dad's name on it and so forth. And I said, could I buy one from you? And he would not sell one. There was no way he would let one of those go. So I gave up, and you know, I figured every once in a while I would stop in and talk to him. And then one time I got to thinking about it before I stopped to see him, that if he was into coins so much, maybe he might consider a trade for some coins. So I took a bunch of coins with me. And when I stopped for my beer that time, he said, any chance you'd let one of those go for a silver dollar? I said, well, sure. He says, I'll let you have all you want for silver dollars, because that was really important to him. So I had about 7 or 8 silver dollars with me, and I took them all in and traded them, and I got 7 or 8 silver of the Robinson's Corners tokens. Well, by this time now there was a book out, and of course somebody else had been in there. And so in the book there's a notation about a hoard is known to exist, and those were the 4 pages full of the tokens that were in the book. And so I kept kind of track on the guy over the years, and about 5 or 6 years ago I drove by and it was gone. The place had burned down. So that was the end of Robinson's Corners and the hoard of tokens that was supposedly still there. So there's enough out that everybody's going to be able to get one, but the big hoard that was sitting there is now gone, and so is the building.
That's a great story.
Good story. Thanks, Ron.